Hey y'all, and welcome back to Cajun Country Livin'. So obviously our house is not here, so we're gonna do a little bit of explaining for y'all.
Yeah, we wasn't in a hurry to wreck the forms on the concrete slab, giving it plenty of time to cure, but we've had an extraordinarily busy week.
So if y'all missed last week's video, what Jim's talking about is we did pour our front porch, the first one that we put on. And we're just letting it sit. We've given it an extra few days. Definitely plenty of time to sit up and cure. And we've had dry weather.
And as you know, we don't stand still. So we're going to bring you along. We're going to show you what we've been doing. And typically we do all kinds of things besides the home build, but we usually don't bring everybody along. Well, this time we're trying to do better, and we're trying to incorporate more of our everyday lives into this video. So without further ado,
Let's go show them.
come on.
Come look at how big this is.
That's a pretty good size one, huh? Just for comparison. You want it?
Preferably not. Oh, he likes it.
So normally all you see is us building our house on our family land.
We show y'all also like going to the river and where we go fishing, and we let y'all in on just a small side of all the stuff that we do throughout the day that is not just building our home, because at the end of the day we are the type of people that work hard, play hard kind of deal. So we also want to be able to enjoy our time with Lad and be able to enjoy our time together and not just be so focused on our house that we get lost in what we're doing.
That's right. So we have several thousand acres of land that adjoins our family land. And in this land we have our family and extended family. So for several years it's been so wet, and between that and Hurricane Laura and what was the other one, Delta?
Hurricane Delta.
Like back to back, just destroyed so many trees and stopped up all of our road systems that we had back here, but we couldn't do a lot about it because it stayed so wet. Well, it's been dry enough this year.
So we're gonna show y'all a few areas that have made such a huge difference in the work that we have done as a family to make this place look and be honestly safer.
Some of the holes, some of the water body crossings were getting really bad, but like I said before, we just did the best we could until it got to this time. And we're actually standing on one of them. So let's bring you in and take a closer look. So this was a bridge that we call the Iron Bridge. We built this whenever I was really young, and just through the years of being in the elements, it's steel, so it's degraded so much. Like this right here.
Just falling apart.
It's falling apart. And the reason we built this bridge to begin with is so we could cross over on our four-wheelers, ATVs, to get from point A to point B when the water's up and we can't cross it normally.
So typically, as y'all can see, there's a lot of buildup on this side. Whenever it does flood, this water just rushes over this bridge.
So we drive our boats right through here, if that gives you any idea of how high this water gets a lot of times.
If y'all don't like bugs, do not, I repeat, move to South Louisiana. I just ran into this thing's web, and I'm pretty sure it could have spun me. Okay, Jim's gonna walk across just to show y'all how degraded this iron bridge is. Y'all see all that metal just falling off of there? Oh man.
So that's where the crossing was with the iron bridge, and we moved it slightly upstream. Much safer situation.
So Jim's brother, George Allen, did a fantastic job moving all these logs as a great base underneath all of this dirt. And it was all logs and trees and branches that have been torn down by the hurricanes in the past few years. And what he did was build a really nice form and then came back over it and did an absolutely fantastic job, I cannot say it enough, of building this dirt up. So this water on my right side is going to come probably right up to the top of that dirt on this side, and then same on this side, it's just going to come right up to the top of here. They know, I don't know, but they know how this typically looks whenever it is a normal season with rain and with, you know, not as much dry weather. So them knowing how high to put this crossing up to has been really important. So I'm really glad that they did such a fantastic job on this. And I mean, look how wide. We're not going to have any problems like we had on that little tiny bridge. Not that that wasn't built fantastic, Jim Wayne. It was built fantastic. But, you know, out with the old and with the new. So this is just one area that has made a huge difference in getting back here and being able to provide us with all this travel through all this land that we have.
Absolutely. We couldn't even travel this way, but now we can. It opened up another big opportunity for us to get back here to where we love.
Also, kind of perks because a lot of fish travel through here and not anymore. So all that's going to do is build up 2 little ponds on each side, which is going to be fantastic fishing.
So this was another area that caused us all kinds of problems trying to get back here. Right here where I'm standing, it was about 5 feet straight down, and the water would flood across this road. So if you tried to cross it in your buggy or 4-wheeler, the pressure of the water would try to slide you sideways. Really wasn't a good situation sometimes. So we hauled in a lot of rock and we built this area up, and we were able to get some concrete slabs from some people that were doing some demo. So we put these concrete slabs to keep the rocks from washing away. So hopefully that works.
On the road, headed back to New Orleans, driving in the country past old-timey scenes. Big birds were singing in the tall willow trees, mighty fine. 3 words written on a paper bag, I miss you, was written in a message in black, thrown in a van 2,000 miles back, a better time.
First things first, we're gonna go around here and take out all these pins. We're gonna have to pull a little bit of the dirt back that we had pushed up there to hold all this plastic and kind of hold the wood in place so that way it didn't bow or anything. So we're gonna pull all that back, take the pins out, and then we'll go through and take the boards off, take the plastic off, and see what the finished product looks like. Last one. Now we're just gonna hope for the best whenever these go to pull out. Surely it won't be too hard.
Have you ever seen that movie by Disney, Sword in the Stone? This is kind of the same thing except stake in the dirt.
Right before we poured this slab, we came out here and stapled a piece of, I think I ended up measuring it about 12-ish inches long, all the way around of plastic to our form. That way it would kind of keep the dirt separate from falling into that trench that we had dug. And now we're going to go through, rip that off, leave the staples in the wood, they can stay, and pull that plastic off, and hopefully no tatas are underneath. Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. Dry, high off the ground environment. Perfect place for some fire ants. Okay, now this turns into a game of don't get bit.
Well, as you can see, in the great porch foreman of 2022, we had a blowout. And what happened here is the weight and the pressure of the concrete was greater than the dirt that we had piled on top of the plastic. So the pressure just pushed it out. It's not that big of a deal because the soil is going to come up to about right here anyway. When we backfill it, we should be able to just take this hammer and break some of this off. So we'll be able to trim it up, and then that'll be underneath the dirt for the yard. So not that big of a deal, but still kind of aggravating.
Is this a wood frame concrete hammer hoodis or what?
That's a that's a hope we can get the form board loose hoodis.
Oh, okay.
I think the tart depends on them spaghetti on.
Spaghetti? Look at that.
What'd you say, Arnold?
Look at that. Okay. Here we go. Going to move all this dirt back closer to the form. Oh, it's not a form anymore.
The slab.
The slab. The rock. The very expensive rock. We're going to move all this dirt back up against the rock, and Jim's going to go by first and kind of knock off all that loose concrete. That way it can settle with the dirt. That's what makes teamwork. The dream work. So now Jim's just gonna go back in behind me, and he's kind of a perfectionist whenever it comes to stuff, so lucky for me, I can just sit here and watch, and he's just gonna kind of level this off and make it look a little more tidied up than I had it. So whenever it came to pouring our slab, we had a lot of questions. So we went ahead and picked out our top 5 questions that we got asked whenever we did this, and we're gonna go ahead and answer those for y'all. First one is, why didn't we do a dry pour slab?
As a lot of you know, we're big on dry pouring concrete. It makes it so easy and you have so much time to work with it.
We actually did a video on the dry pour slab, and I know a lot of people actually haven't heard of that before we did this video. So we're gonna put the tag right here for the video in case y'all wanna watch it, but it is actually pouring the dry concrete on the ground.
Yeah, if y'all watched that video, bear with us. We were just starting. We knew nothing about videos, so the audio's awful. There's a lot of things we need to improve on, so bear with us, but it's a really good video. But the reason we didn't dry pour this is because it would have taken a lot of bags of concrete, and sometimes things like that just aren't feasible. Oh, we're definitely going to do some more dry pour videos. My own personal thought process is that information is not out there to enough people. When it comes to concrete, a lot of people get nervous about it, and the dry pour method is so easy, but it's really good for small things and places that are hard to get to, so you can actually take the bags and put it in there. One of the issues with pouring a small slab is that if you call the concrete company to bring it out, there's costs involved, not only just for the concrete. If you only need a yard or two of concrete, they're gonna charge you for a small load fee and all that other crap that goes with it. You can do it yourself.
The next question was, how many yards of concrete did we use?
Okay, so I have a bad track record of getting the concrete calculations wrong because you have little waves, a little bit. Even if you're perfect at it, you're going to have a low spot, a high spot. It's really hard to get it exact. So it came up to not quite 9 yards of concrete. It was like 8.6 and some change. So I ordered 10 yards to be on the safe side. We had to send a little back, but it wasn't even a full yard that we sent back. So I would rather fail on the side of safety and have too much than not enough.
Next question is the slab flat?
Actually, we got more comments than questions on why did you pour your slab flat?
And I guess it was something that we just didn't show much of.
I guess we didn't even think to mention that. But our slab is on a 1-inch slope. So in other words, that end of the slab is an inch lower than the slab against the side of the house. So if the water blows in, the water runs out. And we also cut a slight grade on the ends. That way if the water does blow in, it runs out and away. So the ones on the side are very slight, less than a 1/2 inch, but it's still going downhill, and that's the direction that water goes, is downhill. So we were thinking ahead. Might not have looked that way, but it turned out.
Why didn't we put an expansion joint from the house to the slab?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And really, in all actuality, we probably could have put I know we could have put an expansion joint against the house, but really didn't see the need for it. We didn't put it up against wood siding. I know it's fiber cement siding, and fiber cement siding can degrade with moisture over time, but this siding is going to be under this roof. So over time, it might be an issue, but as we all know, when you pour concrete and it's wet, it shrinks whenever it cures. All the moisture's leaving, so it draws in. So we actually have a little small gap at the edge of the house right now. It's not much, about 1/8 of an inch, but it's not right tied up against the side.
Right and tight.
Right tied up against the side.
And our last question that we're going to have is, why did we choose this finish? Well, if y'all have ever walked on a slab that is finished smooth and it is open to elements like, let's just say water, 9 out of 10 times, your feet are going to slip right out from under you as soon as you hit that water.
We did not want to swap our head and our feet positions.
Absolutely not. So we
unexpectedly.
Exactly. So we did decide on the brush finish, and that's going to make the water run off of it into that, like Jim was talking about, that grade that goes down. It'll make that water just roll right off. Well, y'all, we know this was not our typical video this week, but we appreciate you watching and sticking to the end. And we also wanted to say, hey y'all, welcome to the Cajun family, because we have a lot more subscribers, and I know a lot of y'all are here from the channel Can't Contain Us, suggested us to a lot of their subscribers. So if y'all are from them, thank y'all so much for subscribing to us. And if y'all have never checked out any other channels that do the house building, Can't Contain Us is a great one. They're doing a shipping container home, and it is different elements than we're in. They're way up north versus where we're at, so it's actually really interesting. What's funny about that is we both ended up painting our houses almost the exact same color.
Yeah, y'all definitely check them out. They do some innovative things over there, and they're just a joy to watch. So if you like watching us, give them a shot.
So in case you've missed hitting that subscribe button, make sure to like and subscribe to this video. We appreciate everybody who does, and thank y'all once again for checking out this week's video.
See y'all next week.